A feature I have always missed in later Stronghold games is Invasion Mode, a gameplay gem only found in the original Stronghold. Sure, later games have offered campaign missions with similar Survive the Siege gameplay, but never a dedicated mode with singular scenarios that challenge the player to defend their castle. In this video I want to dive into why the loss of the Invasion Mode was such a tragedy for the Stronghold series, and why I hope that someday it will make a comeback. When Stronghold Crusader was released in 2002, Firefly Studios shifted their focus. Crusader leaned heavily into skirmish mode, where players face multiple AI lords in fast-paced battles, having to take the fight to their enemies. This mode was undeniably a hit, with Crusader achieving critical acclaim and solid commercial success, selling over 100,000 copies in the US alone. It became a beloved classic in the RTS genre, and for many fans, the pinnacle of the Stronghold series. But here's the thing, as much as I love Stronghold Crusader, I feel like its success came at a cost. Firefly Studios never revisited the core experience of Invasion Mode, defending your castle against waves of attackers while focusing solely on economy and defense, as seen in Stronghold 1. Instead, they doubled down primarily on skirmish scenarios and AI Lord battles, leaving behind one of my favourite ways to play Stronghold. Invasion Mode was simple yet deeply engaging. You loaded up a scenario, fortified your defences, and fended off increasingly challenging waves of enemies. There was no need to manage an attacking force or focus on taking down AI lords. It was just you, your castle, and the pure joy of defensive strategy. This simplicity allowed players to focus on what made Stronghold truly unique, building and defending an impenetrable fortress with strong man walls and creative trap placements. For me, Stronghold 2 seemed perfect for an invasion mode, with its deeper castle management and new siege mechanics like combat on stairs and additional traps. The focus of the game would have benefited more from the inclusion of invasion mode than Kingsmaker, simply due to where the focus of the game lay. Its more complex castle management, in my opinion, was not suited to skirmish mode, and I think Firefly agreed, having simplified the castle management aspect of the series ever since, as their focus turned ever increasingly to skirmish mode. Stronghold 3 aimed to modernise the series with updated graphics, weather effects, day and night cycles, and physics-based siege mechanics, and focused on a single-player campaign. Stronghold Legends introduced fantasy, adding unique units and heroes, and Crusader 2 followed in the footsteps of the original Crusader, focusing heavily on skirmish and offering very few scenarios where you're alone on a map, defending enemy sieges. While all these entries had their merits, none of them brought back the standalone defensive scenarios that Invasion Mode offered. Even Stronghold Warlords, the most recent entry, focused on skirmish and multiplayer. While Warlords did recapture some of the original game's charm with its emphasis on humour and castle management, it still lacked a mode that truly let players hunker down and test their defences against overwhelming odds. The focus on multiplayer and skirmish mode, while fun, left little room for a mode that embraced the series' core fantasy of holding out against relentless sieges. So why does Invasion Mode matter so much? Because in my view it captures the essence of the Stronghold series, building and defending an impenetrable fortress. It allows players to focus entirely on defensive strategies, placing traps, fortifying walls and managing resources, without the distraction of counterattacks and AI politics. The thrill of seeing your strategies pay off as wave after wave of attackers fell to your carefully crafted defences was immensely satisfying. Every decision mattered. How many archers could you afford? Should you repair your walls or invest in more troops? Each wave of attacks tested your planning, forcing you to adapt as the siege intensified. Creativity was encouraged in trap placement and choke points. You could even roast your people alive like the Mad King in Game of Thrones to survive the final wave. Burn them all! Using pitch to ignite your castle, a favourite of mine as a final defence. And let's not forget the sheer spectacle. Massive armies clashing against your defences, siege engines pounding your walls, and the incredible music score adding to the epicness of it all. One silver lining for the loss of Invasion Mode in the Stronghold series is Stronghold Definitive Edition, released in 2023, and its integration of the Steam Workshop. Fans have created a wealth of custom invasion maps, keeping the mode in the original game alive, offering scenarios that challenge players in new and exciting ways. Maps like Port of Storm or The Dam deliver intense sieges, with unique spins like the execution of Robin Hood, changing up the formula by adding offensive elements to the mix. It's amazing to see the community keeping the mode alive in Stronghold Definitive Edition, but it's still disappointing that Firefly hasn't officially brought it back in later games in the series, and that fans are having to return to the original game, released almost 24 years ago. Other games like Diplomacy is not an option and They Are Billions have tapped into the appeal of base building gameplay and achieved commercial and critical success. This shows there is still a demand for this kind of experience, but these games don't bring the depth of castle building and siege warfare that Stronghold does. In my view, Firefly Studios is sitting on a goldmine of potential by not reintroducing Invasion Mode with modern enhancements. Imagine what Invasion Mode could look like today. With modern graphics, improved AI, and weather effects, the potential for epic sieges is immense. Dynamic waves of procedurally generated attackers could keep gameplay fresh, and co-op play could let friends defend a castle together. The possibilities for creativity are endless. Imagine defending your castle during a thunderstorm, with lightning illuminating the battlefield, and rain affecting troop movements. These are the kind of immersive details that could bring Invasion Mode back to life in a truly modern way. For me, Invasion Mode wasn't just a gameplay mode, it was a celebration of what made Stronghold unique. It let players live out the fantasy of defending their castle against overwhelming odds. While I understand why Firefly shifted focus to skirmish and campaign modes due to the success of Stronghold Crusader, I feel the series lost something special along the way, and that was Invasion Mode. As a huge fan of the original Stronghold, I hope that future entries in the series such as Stronghold Unreal will revisit Invasion Mode and bring it back to its rightful place in the series. With Steam Workshop integration, a co-op mode, and modern hardware that makes sieges look truly breathtaking, the potential for a comeback of Invasion Mode is huge. But for now, I'll just have to keep revisiting the original game, defending my castles, and dreaming of what Invasion Mode in Unreal Engine 5 could be. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe for more Stronghold content, and let me know in the comments, do you miss Invasion Mode as much as I do? Thanks for watching.